Hello, my valued viewers. Welcome to 2024. It's New Year's Day. It's got dark because I did get up a bit late, quite honestly, after enjoying New Year's Eve a little bit, a few drinks here and there. So I relaxed all morning and then I thought about what I would do here today. Haven't got anything to post. It's Bank Holiday Monday. I haven't made any sales in the last few days either, but that's okay, and I'll tell you why right now. I'm going over last year's sales and the year before because at the beginning of 2022 I did a video on my 5 projected plans for 2022. Some of them came to fruition and some of them didn't. So that's 2 years ago. I didn't do one at the beginning of 2023, but I believe that having done one at the beginning of 2022, it helped a lot during that year. And I can explain that by saying that during that year, because I'm looking at it on my Seller Hub on the phone, not my laptop today, my average sale price went up 42.4%, and my average auction sales went up 43%, and my average fixed price sales went up 27.6% during 1 year, with an average sale price going up and the amount of sales going up. Right? This last year, without the plans and targets to work to, my average sales went down 10%. However, let me just go back to 22, which was previous year. So I'd already made that 42% increase, and I'll tell you what my figures are for the last year increase. So say between beginning of 23 and the end of 23 and the first day of 24. There's no sales today, so although it includes today, it doesn't include the 1st of January 2023. The Wi-Fi network ready to connect. When the network quality improves, it will connect. Anyway, I've got it down on paper because these are the things that happen in this garage. So, my 5 plans for the year in 22 to 23 were to tidy this garage. I did some of it. I didn't get that completed. To get healthier. Well, I've lost 25 kilos since then in weight. I'm really pleased with that. I went carb-free for several months of 22 and for about 6 months of 23. And then I went off for Christmas this year and I put 3 kilos back on. But I know how to take it off now. It's still not connected, so we'll go with the paper. So, over 2022 to 23, I had a 45% increase in sales volume and average selling price. Between 23 and 24, that's like today, my sales were down 2.8% overall, but my net sales were down only 1.6%. So I turned over less money, but I made more for the amount that I turned over. Another 1.2%. It means nothing really over the long term. However, my average selling price was up 10%. My selling cost was 30%, and that's because it included all my postages. Every single postage last year was done through eBay as a parcel or as a postage. All done through eBay, all costed in that 30%. Previous to that, I used to do 20% in fees, and then the postage was on top of that. And sometimes it was 15-20% of the goods. And this is due to my average selling price going up and keeping that higher. I would like to target more £100 plus items. I only did 6 £100 plus items over the last year. Only 31% of my sales was over £25. 31% of my sales was over £25. 69% We're still under £20. Now, here's the plans for this year. I want to get my under £20 to be about 30% and my over £25 to be in the 70%. And that'll bring my average selling price up to, say, £30 or so. And the way to do that is to drastically reduce things like the video games that I've got on here. And in this box, this box, this box, and this box, they're all video games by multi-listing and by individuals. They're probably going on that other platform where the logo is there. You're only meant to sell as a non-professional on that site. You know that. I know that. I mentioned it before and I shouldn't have done. So, this is just my eBay though. Although I have done some sales there, we're not talking about that. Just eBay. My selling cost was 30%, including postage. And that's because my postage per item cost is down. What I mean, in a video game, if you sell it for £4 and your postage item cost is £2.30, it's 50 odd, 60 odd %, isn't it? If you sell it for £5 and it's £2.30, it's 46%. Yeah? However, overall, 30%, including postage. Right. My offers to watchers and buyers, they used to call it offers to watchers, is now offers to buyers. 30% of all my sales was to offers. So, I've got to overprice things in order to be able to give discounts and offers. This is the modus operandi for the rest of the year. The rest of this year, all 364 days of it. Now then, this is important. Because I wasn't selling so much small stuff and I had a 30%, which is probably a 25% increase in things over £25, my margin on gross sales went from 40 odd % to 58%, in the region of a 13% increase of gross sales back to me as profit. Specifically because I was trying to reduce the amount of cost of postage per pound. And the way to do that is to have higher value, smaller items, such as memory cards. I'd done £1,550 worth of memory cards last year, and I could have fitted them all in one carrier bag. And the margin on those was in the 80% margin after fees, because of the small postages costs. Fantastic. So I'll be looking out for more of those, more cameras, because the cards come in the cameras. And after making such a good margin on those, 80% of the 1,500 was profit. Yeah, those are what I'll be looking for. Consoles was the next after memory cards and cameras as the most profitable. Consoles with games attached. Games loose, video games loose. I only had 2 loose video games that sold for more than £25 out of quite a lot of sales, as you know. But my return ratio was down. I was pleased with this. My returns and refund ratio down at under 1.5% of everything. Really pleased with that. What I've got to do is the 69% that's under £25. It's as simple as that. I've got to get rid of them. I want everything to be over £25, even if I get bundles of video games that aren't going on that other site and put them on with a console or whatever, to bump the price of each sale up above that margin. I only had one sale over 300, and it was that hi-fi. It went for £2.85 plus postage. It was over 300 in the end. As far as that's concerned, the way for me to do it is to clear out at no cost to me, because it's dead stock. I'll be donating quite a lot. I will be tipping quite a lot, but also I'll be doing a lot more midweek car boots selling. I will concentrate on selling at the midweek ones and buying at the weekend ones where most people are. And that way I can generate traffic and sales on the stuff that I can't be bothered selling, or they're just not working on eBay. And I have a lot of stuff that's been designed that way. I mean, I've found to not work, I've found to clear out. Also, just a minute, I've had a cough and a cold the last week and a half. I still feel rough, but this is the ideal time of day when I've been dosing myself up all day and I've been recovering, and then overnight you get worse again. Right, so I've got my GoPro on, and one of the reasons I've done this is so that I can shame myself. I'm going to take you on a tour around the garage with my GoPro and one of these lights up here. I will show you it again at either the end of January or the beginning of February, and show you what a difference I've made by working hard during January to clear it all out. And one of the things I've got to do more this year that I did in 22 to 23 that I haven't done in 23 to 24 is organise better, so that I have clear spaces, which I don't right now because all my surfaces are full of junk. I need clear walking space so it's faster for me instead of picking over stuff. I need space in order to be able to lay things out and process them faster, and you need space in order to lay things out properly. So this is already running and you'll see what's going on. And so I'm going to take this light here, this one, with me so I can light up enough for the GoPro, and you'll see in a second. Right, anyway, we're going to start with how bad the rest of the garage is, and then we'll work on what I plan to do in here. So we'll spin round now. There's me garage doors. Need a proper padlock on that. Actually, I do have one. It's probably in that box there. So there's some more shelving, and I have cupboard under there which has got some board games in that I haven't touched this summer or winter. There you go. Some steps for getting things off the shelves, and a Mr. Potato Head. You see that there? That's a Moulinex mixer, and then there's a mirror, and that's probably worth, I don't know, £15 to £20 listing. Okay, we've got a bag full of cameras, which I only got a couple of weeks ago and I haven't processed yet. We've got one of these. There's another 7 or 8 in the house. These bags, let me just sort that out. These bags here are part of my packaging strategy, which is cheaper now. These are much cheaper than proper courier sacks. They are rubble sacks designed for putting your rubble in when you're doing your household repairs and things, and they come in a bag, in a box like that. You can see that there's dozens left. Actually, there's probably 40 or 50 there left. They come in a roll. Yeah, you get 100 for £14.99 delivered. So that's 15 pence for a rubble sack, which is really cheap if you're using them as couriers. They're about 5 times as thick as a courier bag, but you need to tape the end over or cut it down to the right size. Right, then we're moving over this way. As you can see, there's a lot of junk. This box has got things in it, some computer games, a colour TV, another box full of Xbox controllers. Some of them work, some of them don't. There's some board games, more video games, Video games, video games, video games, video games, video games. All those got video games in. That has got my power supplies. You know all about that box. I've shown you that box a number of times. There you go. Power supplies, controllers, things like that. Buzz, he's always taking a good dive. He sort of works, but it's not really worth my while selling him. He's more of a mascot now. I've done that one box. There's a load of Wii games. There's some Xbox games. Xbox 360, PS2. And here's the junk pile. Starts here. Load of video cameras. That thing that I never got listed for Christmas, it's got a Christmas village in it. Some Scale Electric. Some trainers, Nike trainers. Oh, I'd forgotten about them. Thing is, it's not so much that I forget about them, is that I never get round to processing them. Right, we've got empty boxes, a couple of controllers, box full of wires, first box full of wires, PS2 games, PS1 games, PS2 games as well, I think. It might not be actually. No, they're PS3 games. Fair enough. Oh, there's a PS1 as well. I think the PS1s are in there. Mostly the ones with the broken cases are disc only. And then it goes mixed, and all this lot is mixed. Which I don't mind a mixed box. It makes sense, actually. Right, then we're moving along. We've got a couple of phones I haven't processed yet. That box of Hot Wires loose parts. Some remotes and a couple of things I bought from the charity shop recently. Then we've got bagfuls of stuff that I haven't processed yet. Load of phones. 3 or 4 bagfuls of phones there. We've got some empty cardboard boxes. Some of these were from Aldi before Christmas, and some of them have been used. They need all splitting down and put in under there, and all this lot needs finding a home. There's my chemicals. Can you see those? I've got chemicals there. I've got some electricals there. A shredder for my things. And we'll work on this box here. Load of wires under there that I showed you. Some things. That's a DVD player, I believe. No, it's a Blu-ray. It works, but it hasn't got a remote yet. I found out that the remotes are about £14 on these, unfortunately, which makes it not worth selling. That thing there, can you see that? That has been there since I videoed the video on doing it, and all I needed to do was stick some of this on the bottom of it and it was ready to sell, and I haven't got around to it. There's some more Xbox 360s. Neither of those work. That's an Xbox One that doesn't work, that I bought recently for £5. Then there's all these. The vast majority of these won't start up, and then the hard drives are on are the faulty hard drives. None of them have any hard drives. Majority of them are Red Ring of Death. There's a couple of things up there. That's the box for this camera, this light. Keep the boxes in case I ever decide to sell them. And then we've got junk here, and junk here. That's a hi-fi that doesn't work. The mini disc player works, the CD doesn't. More cardboard, which needs moving. Underneath there is a JFJ Easy Pro that I haven't used in 3 months. Need to do that. And then I've got all the pads and chemicals there. Some of the chemicals are in there. Those green bottles, nice and cheap. Laptop power supply and lighting power supply. and USB power supply. As I say, I'm going to bring one of those trailing leads, probably both of them actually, over to this side so that I can drop, well, maybe I'll bring one of them over and then one of them down so that this isn't necessarily needed for my laptop and printer, which is going to be here, leaving me all this space for packaging once I've moved all this. There's all the games I haven't sorted yet, that came out with that £40 box, the 93 games for £40. The majority of those came from that and still haven't been sorted. We do have, though, another bag, and another bag. All need processing, and a PS3 Guitar Hero. I have looked at that. It's not working on my PS3. There's a dongle and there's a guitar. One or the other is faulty. It won't be both. Can you see that? That Guitar Hero there? One or the other is faulty. I'm loath to sell them both as faulty, because then I will be selling somebody a good working item which I could get 30 quid for. That box is full of empty game cases. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 carrier bagfuls of video games, plus those that haven't been processed yet. They're not all going to go on eBay. Some of them will go on that other site. Right, we've got all those Wii's. The vast majority will work fine, and I have power supplies for most of them as well. But I don't have remotes, enough remotes, or AV cables. There's one there, or the sensor bars. I don't have enough of those. They're going to all go for replacement console only. Sorry about that. Replacement console only. Which means that they're going to go under the £20 mark. They'll probably be the £10, £12 mark. That's not a good thing. I might have to bundle them up and say 3 replacement consoles for X. That's the only way I'm going to get them to be over £20. There's 3 PS3s, one there, a slim, and 2 super slims. And if you look carefully around the back of that, there's another hard disk drive Ferguson thing. I do believe it's not working, so I might split the drive out of that. These two, I'm not sure of. That Sky there is another hard disk drive one for splitting out. Let's put this box and this one out of the way. Oh god, that's heavy. As you can see, it's an old box, but it's a 2 terabyte box. There we go. It's a DRX 895C, which means it's got a bigger hard drive in it. 2 terabyte. So I might split that out for storage, or if it's working, I might sell it. I don't know yet. Then I've got boards from Sky Q's and computers. I've got another board game there. We've got a pink thing there. That might go with one of those. Another Wii. That die. A typewriter that doesn't work. A tape machine that doesn't work. UView and Humax, neither of those work. That works, but it needs adapting, adjusting. I did actually make one of those adjusters, and I mentioned it earlier in the year, but I never got around to actually doing the filming of it. So maybe I'll do that at some point. There's some envelopes there, and there. I just shoved them in a hole when I got the box full, and I put the box down and it dripped water into them. So I put them somewhere where it was dry. Then we have another box full of crap here. Video camera and power supply. Another Blu-ray machine, a BD30. I don't know whether that's working, but if it is working, I don't know why I haven't sold it, because they're popular. Then we have stands for the for the Wii's, cameras, some of them might work, and then we've got some more scrap electronics and some pottery, boxes and Scrabbles. I've got a Kenwood thing there, and that's a record player that I haven't got around to listing yet. Those are espresso cups in stainless steel. Yeah, I know, stainless steel espresso cups. Printer that doesn't work and isn't worth any money because I took the ink out. It probably is worth something, but not enough. That's what the pink poker chips came in. I've sold out of the pink poker chips, all apart from about 15 to 20 that were damaged, which have gone in the bin actually. I haven't got anything left now. That is going to be split up for the aluminium. I know it seems a bit pointless really, for the amount of time involved, for the amount of aluminium, but I don't like letting things like that go to waste. The amount of time it takes, I could probably make more money by listing something. Right, here's a load of electronics and steel that have to go to the tip. I was going to keep the electronics boards for parts, but quite honestly, it's not worth it to my while at the moment. I do like tinkering with the electronics, just not worth my while. This is the sort of thing, can you see that? I've had the hard drive out, there's a load of electronics in there, it's just not worth my while messing with it. So they're all going down the tip in the next couple of days, that bit as well. And then there's this space here, once I move these hi-fis. These hi-fis, I don't know what that's doing open, they want cleaning up, turning on, and if they turn on, I'm going to sell them as plugged in and turned on, but not. I just don't have the time to individually test every single one and get it working. If it doesn't work perfectly to start with. I've got a Guitar Hero drum kit there, and the base of another one. I've got a Walker, which I haven't messed with since I bought it. I've got £10 from the hospice charity shop there. One of them trolleys, Sholly trolley. There's a monitor that is working but not listed. There's all my paperweights, and they are listed. That game's listed, I think. There's something in there that's listed. Some Lego that's listed. The stuff on the top there used to be listed but has fallen by the wayside and been delisted by eBay automatically. And you can see that because it's winter. You can see where there's leaks. I won't go any further in because I'd need to pick my way. All this needs lifting off the floor and sorting out. Now then, I said to you, I'm going to put some shelving along here for more stock, so that there is room to lift it off the floor. And these here as well, these 4 filing cabinets, they were useful, very useful, when I had wholesale stock, because all my plastic bags went in here. All my bank statements and stuff, paperwork and invoices were in here, and they still are, mostly. You can see, there you go, and that's a whole year's worth of paperwork and invoices. Those are what I used to fill up before I dragged them to the front hall, full of stock every day when I was selling retail. I used to sell retail out of this garage. When I say retail, I mean online retail on eBay. It was all on eBay. I started with Yahoo auctions, and then I went to eBay, and then never looked back when I was doing retail because there was room to do it. At that time, this roof was normal roof, but I put this roof together, about 5 years ago now, and yeah, there's the odd bit of dripping, and as you can see, there's some moisture sort of seeps through, especially if it's been raining for a whole week, but mostly it's pretty good. And there's a load of free labels that I got from UPS. So there is my entire shame. And I need to get rid of this bench grinder, which, believe it or not, I used to be able to clean CDs and DVDs with, and video games, before I got my JFJ Easy Pro, which is, it's under there, you can see it there. Yeah, before I got that, I manually cleaned them with this. I kid you not, you could still do it, and it did actually work. It worked better than you'd think. Not as difficult as you'd think, actually, but I don't use it now. I have one of these which is all black, which I can clean brass with, but that's it really. So there's the undying shame of my big DeathPile, which I've got to sort out this month, and at the end of the month I'll do another tour around to show you how much I've got rid of. I'm not really concerned about how much I sell this month, if I can make myself more efficient in a month by clearing out a lot of this crap. And I mean, a lot of it is just rubbish that's going in the bin. The cardboard takes up space but is useful, but you can split it down, turn it into sheets of cardboard, and I can get more whenever I need it. It's not a big deal. I've got wood for shelving there. Not enough, but I can always buy some more. I'm not going to bother with any more of these fit together shelves. They're okay, but they're not really that strong. I've got all my bits and tools and stuff in there. These filing cabinets down the tip, a lot of the stuff like I showed you in there is sort of 8 or 10 years old, and it just wants to go down the tip as well, or get shredded or burnt or something. This box is for my monitor that I got last year, so I'll be keeping that. These hi-fi bits are going to go dirt cheap. I actually paid about £15 for this whole stack from the floor all the way up, and I could probably get £25 for just this Kenwood turntable. I'm not sure. I have all sorts of cables up there. So yeah, I've got space on the shelves to put things. You can see that shelf there's a bit rotten, a bit mouldy. That needs cleaning out, but I don't get in at it and clean it out enough because I've got stuff in the way which all needs clearing out. If I can clear it out, put some on the shelves, put some wooden shelving here, clear these out, put some wooden shelving from that shelf, that metal shelf there, all the way along to this metal shelf, and deeper than these actual shelves. It's about 35 centimetres, maybe 40 centimetres wide, and really what I want is like 65 centimetres wide, all the way along, with probably 5 shelves on, in wood, all the way along, both sides, and that will increase my surface area to store things in quite a lot. Also want a shelf up here. I've already put the mark where I want my shelving. I'll put that mark up there. That black line is where there's going to be a shelf that sticks out, I don't know, 60 centimetres with packaging on top. Currently I put my packaging there, and those bubble bags used to be up there, but I put some tool storage on there, so it's been taken up. To my ever-dying shame, this is the mess that I have to clear up this month, and if I can do that, put the extra shelving up. I might even put some shelving up here. If I move these, there's room for shelving up here now that I'm not using it for lighting and photography. So I actually have room for more stock, and then some of the stock that's in the dining room, which I'm not going to show you right now because that's month 2 if I get all this done. Some of the stock in the back bedroom that I'm working on, like all those board games, can be moved into here and out of the way until they sell or until they're donated. So there you go, my shameful garage is about to change very drastically. I've set myself this challenge, and hopefully I'm going to do a very short edit, probably put something out 1st of January or 2nd of January. Either way, have a happy and prosperous 2024. The changes I'm making in here will help me drastically in organising all my stock, so that's the plan. I would rather hardly have any sales in January, so don't expect big sales reviews of what I've sold. It's not going to happen. I'm warning you now. I'm concentrating on this. I might give you an update on what's gone on in here, but that's what's important to me right now. So have a nice 2024. If I don't speak to you before February, you know why. And if I do speak to you before February, it'll be to say, look at the changes I've made. So now you know what I'm doing for the rest of the year, but the main thing this month is this garage. If I don't speak to you for the rest of January, you know why, because I'm knee deep in clearing out this crap. Back and forward to the tip, charity shops, testing. I will be listing what I come across that's worth over £25, but for the rest of the January I am not going to list anything under £25. And if it works out for me, that is going to be my mantra for the rest of the year, and we'll see how it works. Because obviously your ASP is going to be higher than £25 if £25 is your minimum price. So all I can do is increase my ASP and then get sales with that stock. There's my plans, and I'll speak to you about further plans at the end of January once I've cleared this lot and put some more shelving up. And it's good that I've got this video to look back on and say, you've got to get your finger out. There's no holding me back. I'm enthused now.